Gemini, how you doing? Okay, so there's no point me really putting a timeline on this. So it's basically from now until the end of December, but it's basically just a timeline. Okay, so the best thing to do is just go with it, really. But we'll see where we are. Okay, if you want a private reading, I've just put information in the description. You got Fool in the description. So basically just send me an email. Okay, I can't put all the information in there because it won't let me at the moment. So if you just send me an email, I'll send you an automated something back in order to say. Okay, so let's see. So all songs and all that kind of stuff will be in the description if you want to check them out as well. If you've just found the channel, I normally put songs in the description. Videos and all that will kind of relate if there are any, but there should be. Okay, so this is basically from now till the end of December. December, January, sorry. Wow, come on Steve, pull your head together. So you might need to pull your head together, Gemini. Right, so let's have a look. From now to the end of January. From now to the end of January. Gemini, something rising on Venus. So you've got the Fool, you've got the Eight of Pentacles, so taking a new direction. So either being foolish or finding more to do with spirituality, seeking the higher mind, higher wisdom, higher guidance, probably feeling fresh and new. See, the Fool can either be foolish or aloof, but it can also mean like a fresh beginning. Wow, that's way too many. Cards are flying. So the Eight of Pentacles talk about hard work. So it could be you're working hard at Ascension or tarot card reading, astrology, or just working generally hard. You probably could have found yourself a new job and you're working hard at it. And it's like a fresh job, a new job. It's taking hard work, but hard work is only built up by obviously hard work, right? Let's see, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So, uniting with someone. Three of Cups. Three of Cups can talk about. Wow, so you got three. Well, see, wow, Gemini. So you could well still be caught in a mix of a bowl of soup, maybe. Depends. It can be just being celebrating with friends. It can mean three-party kind of tea party. It can mean drinking and alcohol, okay, being aloof, or it can just mean generally happy, you know, three of Cups. Could be working hard at emotions and feelings because of the past. I know a lot of you were kind of caught up in that kind of bowl of soup. Let's see, well, so you've got that got mixed up with all those. So you might not be walking away from the past, or you have healing. Kind of put that upright because it's general. Everybody's on a different timeline. Not everybody's the same. Some people, like I say, that's probably why that flew out in half. Because some people, you know, like I said to you in the last one, Gemini, you know, 2019 can be a good one or a bad one. You know, some of you did walk away from the past and some of you didn't. Some of you went backwards and some of you probably did go forwards. Okay. Now, the Nine of Cups talk about wish fulfillment, but it can also mean something that was very toxic and draining and you have walked away. They've either walked away from you or you've walked away from them. Okay. Could be very aloof and drinking, and it could, because the Three of Cups is in the middle. It's in the middle. Okay. You've got healing underneath a fresh new beginning, so healing from something from the past, because the past is like kind of looking out pastwardly to what we went through December. Okay, so you've got healing from that, but you've got the Three of Cups that's separating drinking. Somebody could be well drinking, draining, going away and coming back. Keep returning back. Because this to me at the moment seems like someone walking backwards, even though they're, it's like still, standing still, stillness. You see, wow, and the Three of Pentacles is back. Three of Pentacles is back, yeah. Caught in the drama. you know, there's no point in me actually keep telling people, because of a lot of people, they don't want to listen. So, you know, that's individual choice, Gemini. You can either continue on the same path and keep doing the same thing, or you don't. You know, that's individual choice. In order to learn, in order to get anything new, you obviously have to sacrifice. You can't. Wow. So someone is experiencing sleepless nights. So you've got 2 9s. 2 9s. Right. So the world works off sacrifice, like I've said before, okay, by Lucifer and God, okay. If they don't see you sacrificing things, it's like the fight or flight, okay. Fight or flight, fear of abandonment, overdraining, over emotions, walking away, but fear of abandonment. So I need to return back to a low vibrational past, okay, low vibrational past. So if that happens, you get caught back into the triangle of, well, the triangle of sacrifice. You know, it's the fight or flight. Why would you fight to stay in a relationship when you're actually trying to fight to get out of it? If someone's trying to fight to get into a relationship with you, but you don't want them to, but you're still in it, well, that's just pointless, right? So someone's obviously draining someone's emotions. Someone's probably walked away. Someone could have walked away from you. They could have walked away. Or if you're caught within a 3-party triangle, someone has just walked away from the drama itself, okay? But someone could be well drinking, overzealous, over greed, gluttony. You know, you've got 2 9s. So if you're connected to a 9, say maybe, it's pointless. It's pointless. Why would you constantly stab yourself in the eye? You know, some people do. You know, it's their points of growth of like, well, fuck. It's pointless. It's pointless. You know, I'm sorry, Gemini, but I'm just so fed up with just people like just having a decent reading and having to go over the same things. You know, because this is the same thing. How many times do people want to constantly be like that? It's only you that makes yourself do that. If someone's making you do that, well, then you're fighting and flighting. So what's the point in fighting, and what's the point in flighting when you just need to separate? If someone's attached themselves to you like a dark passenger, well, they've been doing that for many, many life cycles. You know, so it takes release, it takes sacrifice. In order to get anything in life, you have to sacrifice and work for it. You know, you don't work for a fighting partner, or you don't fight a partner to work together, because that's obviously pointless again. So what you do is you have to sacrifice a lot of something to get something, to refill it. What is an emotion if it's left empty? Refillable, same as anything else. Life in general, home life, career. You know, if you're attached to a low vibrational energy, and you know you are, okay, and your career path and your anxiety levels are raising, and your career is kind of in chaos, and you can't figure out what to do, and your money's also drained, and your path of direction is like you can't see, well, that's because someone's draining it. So what they do is that a narcissist, they only have one direction. They only work off a secondary emotion, okay? So they basically feed off your low vibration. People think that a narcissist feeds off your high vibration. They don't, okay? That's when they come in to confuse you. A narcissist will come in to confuse your high vibration. So it pulls you down to a lower vibration, so then it leaves you confused, because that's what they feed off. They feed off your lower emotion of their second emotion. Because they don't have a higher emotion, because it's illusion, it's fantasy, okay? So they live off that. So that's why they drain that's why you completely feel down and down and down and down, because that's the only emotion that they feed off, is when you're trapped, okay? So it's kind of like, right, where are you going? Okay, nah, you haven't got the strength in order to walk away from me. You know, you haven't got the strength to walk away from me, because when you do walk away, okay, that's when I'm going to bombard you with loads of chaos and threaten, or tell you just, well, God knows, fucking narcissists, they tell you all kinds of things, you know. So then what happens is the fact that then when they've got you where they want you, that's when they start to feed off you, and that's why you then start to experience sleepless nights, because they're literally draining off your lower emotion. So it keeps you then confused and stuck where you just don't know a way out, because that's why. They're feeding off that low vibration of yourself. So every time your vibration's high and you want to move in a new direction, they feel that, and then they come back in order to confuse you. So then your head starts to get static, and then you start to over-analyze and be over-analytical, and then think, well, you're fearing to move forward, because they're causing fear of abandonment through their fear of abandonment. You're attached to something that has fear of abandonment because you have fear of abandonment. So you have to ask yourself, well, why do you have fear of abandonment, of self-worth issues? Okay, so if you don't, you move forward, and that's the strength. You have to sacrifice. Okay, but if you don't, their lower vibration of fear of abandonment keeps you stuck and trapped, the fact that you can't move forward. But the moment you do, it attaches itself to you again to threaten and kind of go over loads of different things of threat. Okay, yeah, this if you're stuck to a narcissist, but that's a narcissist card, and so is that, you know. So then they just keep you stuck. So you just can't, you don't know your head from your arsehole. And you just think, okay, well, I'm just stuck with this, so I've just got to wait until hopefully it goes away. Well, that's not strength. That's not doing anything, you know. So the universe sees that, and they just kind of think, well, that's sacrifice too. You're willing to sacrifice your life, of where you would probably end up with nothing in the end anyway. So you might as well have nothing now in order to rebuild it for the rest of the life that you have. You know, what are you prepared to do? Choice again. Yeah, depression. Depression. Someone could be well seeking depression, drained emotions, trying to seek guidance of purgatory, lost in the static of the mind through someone attaching them as a low vibration. I mean, keep doing it. To be honest, it will probably teach you more. 12 on the clock. It will probably teach you more to do that, you know, because the more times you do it, well, ask yourself, how long have you been doing it? Okay, are you prepared to do it again? If your answer is, well, I really don't know and I can't do it, well, then that's yes, and it means that you're going to do it again, and it will probably teach you more in the end. You know, if you want good things in life of actual wish fulfillment, then you have to break away from it yourself. Your judgment call is what you call upon it yourself. No one else can do it. That is the judgment call. Judgment call is that you make that for yourself to raise your vibration, to cut off energies of low vibration. You have to do that. What would be the point in lowering yourself to someone else's expectations? You can't. Why would you lower yourself in order to fight with someone when they're just fighting with you? You know, you can't. It's pointless, right? It is. It's the Batman Superman effect. You're not a Cape Crusader, and you can't fix things that are broken because they're broken. It's like trying to put a band-aid across something that's broke, and it just soon rips apart. It soon falls apart. You have separation of avoidance. Again, separation of avoidance because of interference of three-parted kind of stuff, or someone that just drains your emotion. You know, they pull your self-worth and value and respect down, so you don't have enough respect and self-worth value in order to find someone at the same face value of self-worth and respect, because they're drawing that from you to make you feel that you don't have any respect enough to do it, because the only respect that you should have is for them. Yeah, no, you don't. Doesn't matter who they are. You know, I go through this with my family, and I couldn't give a fuck who you are. You know, you don't do that to me, I don't give a shit. You know, so I don't participate in it, and I don't let it bother me. You know, yeah, I don't, and then I make plans in order to move away. It's simple as that. Well, it's not. It's not simple. It's hard, but you know, what in life ever came easy? If you think it's easy to sit where you are, well, obviously people are not fucking happy because they're experiencing fucking healing and trauma. You know, if this is the other person, well, don't get involved with it, because someone's definitely drinking and fucking depression, and someone's had enough and walking away. Let's see, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Something rising on Venus. So you've got death, transformation. Could have something to do with Scorpio. Could have Scorpio in the chart. Scorpio has walked away, or it's a long a long drawn out process. You've got Scorpio and Virgo facing away from one another in some kind of mix. Virgo and Scorpio going in different directions. It needs transformation. I mean, this to me is like, you know, because I have a Gemini moon, so I go through this with my mother, okay? But that's not affecting me, so I can't see, you know, it does cause slight kind of hermetized depression, and it can do, you know, but you don't let it affect you. You transform. You have to understand release of souls. People are only there. You do the opposite. You know, you don't do the same. If the same has took you down the same lane, then change lanes and change it up and do it different. You know, not with the same person if they're going to keep you attached. It means you do it different by doing the opposite, which means break your ascension and break away, move away. You know, sacrifice and death of the old for the new. That doesn't just mean transformation of yourself. That means transformation of your area code, your job, friends, soul groups. Your soul groups of people show you more about what's happening in your life than what you know. So does the television. If you just happen to watch the television, it happens to be about narcissism or something like that, and it's like, fucking hell, that seems like my life. That's a guided spirit message to tell you, yes, it is. So if you're aware enough to think, well, that is that, then why are you still doing it? You know, that's a message of opportunity that they're telling you, hello, you know, yes, you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice an area code, a town, a city, a state, a provenance, anything. You need to sacrifice it. You know, like the people are involving children. We went through this before with people in the comments and stuff. And I do deal with that. You know, what does that teach them when that sees that the mother or the father is willing to do whoever's doing what? It doesn't teach them anything. So from people's soul, you know, if you look at your soul groups of people generally in life, if like a job or anything like that, if that's caused that much chaos and that much static in the mind, why would you keep going back to it in order to keep happening again? You know, counselling in many ways, I find, is not the right option because it draws everything to the surface and it keeps, well, sometimes it can help, but it depends if you really want it. You know, it's like anxiety and panic attacks, okay? So you go to the doctors and they give you tablets. But every time you take the tablets or take a drug, it just reminds you that you're taking a tablet because you have a problem. You don't have a problem, well, unless you do, for like physical pain. But anything to do with the mind is all overcome by the mind because it was the mind that created it. So the mind can actually undo it. It's only the amount of static in the mind that just creates it. Panic attacks and anxiety, sleepless nights. It's only a nudge to say something's not right and it needs to change, but if you don't change it, you keep having sleepless nights. Okay? Well, if they don't change it, well, then you leave them in the past and let them learn themselves, and they find another attachment of something else to attach themselves to that another person has to learn through them. But you're not forming a chain of ascension, and that's why things can get so bad, because you're not releasing them. You think that they're not releasing you. You're not releasing them. You're not Batman or Superman or a Cape Crusader of where you can save people in life. The only person you can ever save is yourself. If you don't want to, you carry on doing the same thing. Simple as that. You know, you have to have strength in order to actually work things in the right direction. Else you don't get nowhere. You know, you really don't. Well, what you get is more sleepless nights. Working hard at a sleepless night, or you're working hard at night and you're trying to break free and it's taking healing. That can be a good energy. Okay, this energy here really doesn't seem very good at the moment. You know, because it's like someone's took a new direction and they're working hard at it, healed. But then you've got like a 9, which is like a cry for help, and you've got another 9, which is a cry for help emotionally, drinking, alcohol, drug abuse, overzealous, over emotional. Then you've got somewhat, well, over like feelings, depression, like depression of feelings, being depressed down through drinking, suppression down. Then you've got emotional self, which can be narcissistic, which can be the emotion, the second emotion that's created through the first emotion. The first emotion comes through the feelings of detoxing and backwards and forwards of life, but also suppression, up, down, up, down, up, down. It causes a static in the mind that can create narcissism if you are a narcissist or if you're connected to one. That's what they do. They work off your secondary emotion. Secondary emotion. Feeling body, emotional body in the head. Okay? So, yeah, deception. Overall energy. So it's either a return of karma or dharma. Again, it's either returning for the same thing, which is what I said. It'll probably teach you more. You know, can do. Or it's a return of dharma. Depends on the clarifying card. Some people receive karma, some people receive dharma. If you leave them in their own wake, then they have an awakening to the truth, and so do you, and you break away, and then they receive what's been built up for the amount of times that you've both been doing it. So then you have to accept that. You have to have self-acceptance. Lessons in life are there regardless, but when you learn to accept it, okay, that's when you think, okay, well, I forgive myself. Through ascension of parties of any kind of soul group, you all met before in the same timeline of the people that you meet. They're all soulmate soul groups, okay? So what happens is you keep up the perpetuation of a blame game of something that you did to them. That's why they're doing it back to you now. You think it's their fault. They think it's your fault. Fight or flight. No, it's an ascension of a dark passenger that's carried itself with you over timelines to create the same thing again. Returning, leaving, returning, leaving. Then you get involved with other people. You run, then you come back, then you run, they come back, they run, they come back, they run, they come back. Okay. So then what you have to do is you have to think more logically. Well, it's not working out. So what we have to do is completely and utterly separate from the person that's keeping that fucking deceivious behaviour, okay? And that's when they receive their karma. Then it won't if you're wanting someone to receive their karma, because you have to be forgiving, because you have to realise it was you doing it in the past life. Something happened in the past life that you was doing it to them. If you're the good person, generally the good person, okay, last time you're a complete arsehole. If you're connected to a complete arsehole, it was you doing it. It was. Trust me, I'm clairvoyant. You know, it was. Sorry, but I've been through all this, so, you know. So at the end of the day, you realise that, well, they're not really taking from me anymore because I'm taking from them. I'm actually learned the fact that you can't take things from me because I'm taking the experience. Okay, Gemini, you're a mutable sign, so that's why you have to keep yourself like under control, because you mute your energy, so you morph into it. So okay, so you adapt to your environment, right? You adapt to whoever that it is that you communicate with, or whoever that you are with in your life on a mundane level. Okay, you adapt to that environment. If your environment is toxic, you learn by that environment and you become that environment. Okay, it's like learning to do a job, or it's learning to talk or communicate with people, or anything. Okay, so if your life, look at your life and look at your people and your friends and whoever they are and whatever they are, that's where your main lessons lie. Also with, say, a karmic partner, your lessons are mirrored, so you do the opposite. Okay, you do the opposite because it's, I forget where I was, I've lost train of thought. Because you have to realise that you're taking from the lesson. You should be taking from it. Because you think, well, they're taking everything from me. I can't fucking get out. They're taking everything. No, what are you taking from the experience? To do the same? To think that you're a Cape Crusader? You're not. The only person that you can ever do is save yourself and realise I'm self-acceptant now and I completely forgive enough the fact that I can move away completely, because it's pointless, because I've done it to them. So I forgive it. I forgive myself. Self-worth, self-love, provocation of yourself. Okay? So then you have to accept whatever it is that comes back to you, because you're manifesting. Someone's connected to you karmically, badly. Okay? They're stopping you from manifesting the new. That's why they keep you stuck and stop moving forward. Okay? So they interfere with your manifesting program. Your manifesting program is where you are in full control of your emotions, feelings and thoughts, and your higher and your lower vibrational self, because it's about yourself, the manifester, because it's a one. Okay? When you know that, okay, you can become a guide, but when you're under full control, you realise that you're not codependent of control, that no one can control you because you have firm boundaries of where you draw a line. You draw a line in the sand and you have things in place. Written work, paperwork, everything is in place. Then everything starts to fall into place. Your mind starts to fall into place. Your emotions fall into place, because you're then not connected to a narcissist where you can make your own decision for yourself. So then when you have family, okay, it's a show and tell. You don't tell people what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, you need to do that. Okay? You show them leadership and they follow you. Okay? They follow your leadership. Okay? Because the most influential people are the people that don't force anything upon people. They're just leaders naturally, because they just do it naturally because they're in alignment with it. So people look up to them just like your children will do. They'll look up to you because you're just easygoing. You know, someone that's easygoing has followers, or they have people that they guide as a guide. Okay, naturally, so it works with children too. You know, they'll follow you, they'll follow your calling because they know that it's wise. Okay, if they don't, then unfortunately that's a lesson that they have to learn themselves. And trust me, I deal with people with family issues, and they've been through the same thing. Okay, sometimes people say, well, you're going to have to learn the hard way then. Do it again, and if you fall off the step, you'll hurt yourself. Okay, but their soul knows, so they have to experience that. But if you show leadership, they'll always want you, but you have to sacrifice something at the beginning in order for them to know that you're a leader, for them to follow you. If they think, well, you're going to follow someone that's pissed and narcissistic and controlling, well, then they're not going to follow you. They're going to cause a ray, because it's causing an array of a cycle of the same thing again. You know, and they'll do that within their relationships and their life too. It will cause an array there too. It will, trust me, because that's what they're learning from the experience too as well. You know. So, let's see. So let's have a look at, I mean, nothing here is major. Not really. It's all easily overcome. It's just narcissism. But it's not major arcana cards. Let's have a look at the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. I mean, I'm more of a guide and an advisor, as well as like a tarot card reader. That's why I give people advice on, well, on how to break free of it. But that's opportunity and that's advice, you know. Yeah, the Magician. Well, I don't know if that was clarifying that card or not. Let's have a look. Can you please clarify the Magician that? Because that's, well, yeah, it is. It's fucking stopping you from manifesting anything new. Let's have a look at the Magician again. The Magician. Please clarify the Magician. Because it's depression. It's a low. There you go. Look, low vibration. So above, so below. So above, what you're manifesting is someone that's going to drain your emotions again, and the fight or flight, and I think that I'm Batman or Superman. You can't pull it together. You need to pull yourself together. Align your emotions and your feelings with yourself of one. Okay? Realise the universal energy is one. I've gone over plenty of times before. Okay? Learn that, and the fact that you can't be pulled down by a low vibrational energy because they're making you depressed. This is, you're depressing them because you're both stuck. Okay? They're just making you depressed because you think, well, they're not letting me go. You know, well, ask yourself that. So what you're manifesting is the same. So above, draining, toxic, drinking. So below, depression, walking away, death, transformation. So let's have a look at death. Please clarify death. The Magician is every element, right? So it means that what I said at the beginning, the Magician doesn't have any of his emotions or her emotions under control at all. Thoughts are out of control, actions are out of control, drinking is out of control, and jobs and finances are out of control. Okay? And it's draining you as it's draining them. So if their financial career is in chaos maybe, or unstable, and their emotions are unstable and yours are too, and your thoughts are all static and you don't know, and their actions and your actions, they're all out of control. If yours are and theirs are, well, there's the fucking secret to the lesson. Break away. Break away. You know? Break away. Set firm boundaries. Yeah, trapped. Entrapment. Entrapment. So it needs release. It needs release. We're stuck in an elevator. You know, sorry, but my phone keeps going off. That's a 9. Again, 9. So you've got, wow. So you've got 9, 9. So that's 8. So that's 8 in it. 8. So you've got 2 8s, 2 8s and 2 9s. 2 8s and 2 9s. So someone could have Scorpio in their chart maybe. But you've got 2 9s, which are a cry for help mentally and a cry for help through my feelings. Okay? Walking away, but I can't because I'm trapped. Sorry, 2 8s, I'm getting fucking mixed. You've got people just fucking confused to shit, man. You don't know your head from your arse. You've got to pull your fucking head straight. You know? I mean, you know where you are on your ascension path, because this is like my, you know, I have a Gemini moon, and none of this is happening in my life. So this is why it relates to different people at different, you know, you got people are queer as folk, you know. It's just everybody blames everybody else, but not everyone else is on the same timeline. You think, well, is that me or is that not me? Is that me? Is that not me? It may not be. It may not resonate with you. Let's have a look at the 9 of Cups. Sorry, 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Because you've got 8 again. Sorry. This is why I'm getting confused. How many of you fucking got? You've got 8 and 8, right? So working hard at being trapped, and I can't work hard on my career or anything. I can't work on my career or anything because I'm trapped. So you've got 2 8s there. Okay, I'm trapped. I'm stuck. Then you've got another 8 there, which is I keep walking away, but someone keeps working hard at coming back to keep me trapped. You're fucking lost in purgatory, man. You got to get your fucking head straight, Gemini, or don't. You know, there's not fucking lot else I can really tell you. Then you've got a 9 and another 9, which is well, I do hate it, but you see, when you're an empathic and you pick up on all these cards and emotions, I'm just feeling like, you know, I can feel the fucking downness and the depressionness of it, but, you know, that's fucking choice. That's, you know, anything. Trust me when I tell you now, anything can be overcome by the mind. Anything. Literally anything from the mind. If you're in physical pain where you've broke your arm or you've got like fucking sciatica and it's real bad, then sometimes that does take tablets. But even sciatica and back pain can be overcome when you go to the gym and you work out and you move around and you do certain exercises and things and you kind of take your mind off it and you have a brighter outlook and you really concentrate on things. Trust me, that can go. You know, I used to have it real bad and I have it very little now, sciatica, but I do get it now and again. But anything in the mind can be overcome by discovering more about yourself, and that's why it's called the self-discovery, right? If you're connected to anybody that can't discover themselves, well, that's just fucking Batman and Superman. Peter and Paul. Fly away, Peter, fly away, Paul. Come back, Peter, come back, Paul. Same. Yeah, PTSD. Free party again. So I'm saying, if you want a good life in general, fuck 2019. How long has this shit been going on? You know, if you want a good life in general, it seems to me like this lesson is going to teach you another harsh one. You know, Sun can have Leo in the chart, but I don't know what I'm clarifying because I'm lost. I can just see darkness, to be honest. The 8 of Cups, right? The 8 of Cups. So you've got the High Priestess. not speaking, being silent, not using your intuition, or not speaking the truth, hiding the truth. Could have something to do with Pisces or Virgo in their chart somewhere. But Pisces, not speaking the truth, being silent about it. It's probably what's caused, I don't know. But that can be Virgo as well. You've got Virgo here too, Virgo and Virgo. But you've got every element under the table. But that is generally the silent intuition. That's like the intuition is needed, okay? And it's so people have like just walked away. So let's have a look. The Hermit. The Hermit. The Hermit. I'm just trying to see how this plays out in my Gemini moon. So I know that I'm using my intuition in order to walk away from my mother. Definitely, you know. The Hermit. The Hermit. So you've got opportunity to pull your head out your arsehole. But if you're that down and depressed, you miss them. They're like missed opportunities. You know, that's what it seems to me, a missed opportunity. Yeah, or Virgo could well be now offering to something new and feeling victorious in that direction. Or something to do with a Virgo. The Scorpio in their chart that was trapped. Let's have a look again at the Knight, 5, 6, 7, 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords. Because death can be like untrapping, like death to a long cycle. Could have Cancer or Scorpio again. That is kind of Cancer and Scorpio. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, investing. Sorry about my dog. Investing or continue to be stuck. That's weird. Oh God. Let's have a quick look at the Fool. The Fool. The Fool. So you've got the Ten of Cups and Judgment. Judgment call, making a judgment call and finding happiness in a new direction. I don't know. I'm confused, to be honest, Gemini. So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, guys, I do apologise for bad reading, but, you know, my advice would be, not through the cards, is to listen to your intuition. You know, listen to your intuition and start making judgment calls and move. You know, move away, just do something different. Okay, that's your advice also there, you see. Do something different, spiritual healer, finding emotional fulfillment and making judgment calls, you know. Let's have a quick look at judgment call. Judgment call. Judgment call. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune brings in change. Brings in change. So it's calling for action of change. That's kind of the advice, is someone's going to receive their karma, someone's going to receive their dharma. So it depends on who's been doing work and who's not. Okay? If people are still doing this kind of like this stuff here, regardless of any end of the scale, if Spirit knows that you've done extreme hard work on yourself, it snaps. You don't snap yourself. You just, because you don't snap and you understand the self-worth and self-belief, okay, then it all comes into fruition where people then all just end up getting new or getting old, or just whichever way people have done, you know. Karmic justice will say, okay, well, enough's enough. You know, we'll make our own judgment call. So, bam, like that, and everybody receives what they're owed through manifesting of what it is that, through your feelings and emotions and everything else, okay, through that process of that, okay, that's what you manifest, and it comes into fruition. I think it's over a 2 to 3 month cycle, I think. Something like that. I think through Vedic we've got the full moon in Cancer, I think, I'm not sure. But over a period of time of that confusion, okay, whatever was done is dealt. So whatever was done will be dealt. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Whatever's to be done will be done.
You know, so the advice is move away from toxic behaviour patterns, and then things have just got to come into fruition. But that is, you know, things might change for you, Gemini. Don't know. But that's from the 11th to the 20th, well, to the end of December, say. But or it could just be new. Don't know. It could just be what's happening at the moment. Who knows with timelines, right? Okay, but we'll leave it at that. All right, Gemini. Cheers, peace, bye.